Hi everyone, and welcome to the Back 9. Today I want to talk to you about some of the drivers from 2019 and some amazing deals that are out there right now. So why talk about the drivers of 2019 when the drivers from 2020 are already out and there's more coming? I've actually hit some of them already. But I got to tell you, if you're in the market for a new driver, this is a great time to buy. Why? Because you'll see some amazing savings on brand new equipment with little to no difference in performance. And this will be confirmed on some of my upcoming reviews of some of the drivers from 2020. Some of the results may actually surprise you. I would also like not to spend 4 to 6 minutes of every episode with what I consider clickbait, free advertising, and a waste of time, reading you direct marketing material from the manufacturers. This is them trying to tell us why their 2020 drivers hit the ball farther, go straighter, and are faster. Some on YouTube actually read this stuff, except they call it the new tech or the new specs. No, I'm sorry. It's word for word direct marketing material from the manufacturers. I also would like to tell you a little bit why you won't see me talking much about low spin drivers. Back when TaylorMade came out with the SLDR, I tried it. I thought this driver was geared toward me. I was much younger, I swung faster, and I was a single-digit handicapper. Let me tell you, my experience with this driver was less than great. It felt like a 2x4. I couldn't get any distance out of it and tossed forgiveness out the window. But ever since then, the manufacturers have been on a mission to keep producing lower and lower spinning drivers. And I've tried some of them. I've tried the products from Callaway, their Sub-Zero models, the Pings and their LS Tech models, and some TaylorMade M3s and M5s. I have to be honest, my results from these drivers aren't much better than back in the SLDR days. Yes, they feel a little better, but I don't get the forgiveness out of them I do from regular drivers, and I certainly don't get the distance that I do from them. So I'm not going to be reviewing much of those in the future. If new technology comes out, and I think it might really be valuable to try it, I will, and I'll let you know about it. So let's get started talking about the drivers of 2019 and some real savings that are out there for you. So if you like the content you're about to hear in this video, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So I'd like to start out by saying I don't get any free golf equipment, balls, tees, t-shirts, or whatever for doing this. But I have to give a shout out to my favorite golf store, Golfdom, over in Tysons Corner, Virginia. This store is terrific. It's like your old school pro shop with a big retail store combined all in one. What I do get from them is expert advice, fair pricing, and excellent customer service. They have the largest selection of golf clubs I've ever seen, a big selection of putters, and they carry every ball that I know of. Their clothing department is matched by nobody. So please check out Golfdom in Tysons Corner, Virginia. Look at the website below or give them a call. The first important point I'd like to make is please get a shaft fitting. It's really important. I can tell you that I've gotten them over the years, and with my current shaft, I can put it in any one of these driver heads and get 10 to 20 yards more distance over the stock shafts. So I urge all of you to get a shaft fitting for your driver. Second of all, that shaft that I got fitted for, I was able to put in most of the drivers I tested to make it as fair as possible. I'd also like to say that these are my opinions and the opinions of some of my friends who I play golf with on a regular basis. It's going to be more of an overview of these clubs more focused on the amazing savings that are out there right now without losing any performance. I normally don't like reading for videos, but I'm going to have to in this one. I hit a lot of clubs over the year, and we're talking about quite a few, and I just can't remember all my notes, so I jotted them down for us. So let's get going. I'm going to put on my glasses first because I need them. Distinguished? Okay, let's start with the Ping G410 Plus. Now, I've always thought that Ping makes the most forgiving drivers on the market. I still believe that to this day. The Ping G410 Plus is now selling for $399. That's down $110. Folks, that's a steal. This is probably the best overall driver on the market for most golfers. The Ping G410 Plus is a mid to low spinning driver. It has a good solid feel on impact, good distance, not great, good distance. But I don't know about you, but I would rather hit a 7-iron from the fairway than an 8-iron from the trees or the rough. It's easy to launch, and it is the most forgiving driver of 2019. I know a lot of my friends play with this driver for the forgiveness alone. They don't really notice the loss in distance compared to some competitors because it's just that much more forgiving. So let's talk about a driver that doesn't get much attention. They don't spend a lot of money on marketing or advertising, and that's the Strix Z585 driver. It's now selling for $329.99, and it was $399.99. It's a mid to high spin driver. It's easy to launch, and it has a very forgiving face with consistent distance across the face. It has a B plus for overall forgiveness and dispersion. That's the only thing that I had a little negative on this driver. The extra spin really helped me and my friends launch the ball higher and carry further. The next club I want to talk to you about is the XIO, or XIO X driver from 2019, because they do have a new one coming out in 2020. It's now selling for $449. I laugh because that's not really cheap, but compared to what it retailed for when it came out, $699.99, it's a lot more affordable. It's a great club for mid to high handicappers with slower and smoother swings. It's very light, so it helps them generate more club head speed. It's easy to hit, easy to launch, and it has plenty of forgiveness. So if you're that slower and smoother swinger, but looking to pick up a few extra yards with forgiveness, this is a terrific club if you want to spend $449.99. The next club I want to cover is the Cobra F9. It was selling for $449.99. It's selling for $339.99 now. This is another one that's a terrific buy. I would recommend this driver for almost any handicap driver. Fit it with the right shaft. It was the big surprise driver of 2019 to many on YouTube and to many on the golf course. It's a mid to low spinning driver. It has mid launch. It has a great sound on impact. It gets about a B plus for overall forgiveness, but you really get more forgiveness on distance when you mishit it. I can't recommend this club highly enough, and at this price, it's a must-buy for any level of golfer. So the next driver I want to cover is the TaylorMade M5. So you guys know I tend to not like low-spinning drivers. The M5, though, is now selling for $399.99, which is down from its original retail of $549.99. So if you're a faster swinger and you want more adjustability, this could be a good deal for you. Now, I did try the TaylorMade M6, which was supposed to be their more forgiving driver with a little less adjustability. The M6 is now selling for $349.99, down from $499.99. If you're a TaylorMade fan and you like their clubs and you want pretty good distance with pretty good forgiveness, something to consider. This is a little higher spinning driver than the M5, but it's still on the lower side. Twist face technology, I've never really noticed a difference in it. I've tried several of the models and I just don't see a difference. I know some people do, but for my swing speed and the guys I play with, we really didn't notice a difference. I think TaylorMade really develops drivers for better golfers. I see them on tour a lot, and I see some single-digit handicappers on the course who play them. But I don't have a single friend, and including myself, who plays a TaylorMade current model driver. The next club I want to talk about was a bit of a sleeper last year. That's the Cleveland Launcher. Gotta read this. This is a lot. The Cleveland Launcher HB Turbo. It's holding its same retail price at $349, which is a pretty reasonable price for what drivers are going these days. It's mid to low spinning, surprisingly. It's mid-launch. A little bit more spin would really help this driver out for more golfers. It feels really solid on impact. It's very loud. You get good distance out of it, but I find it hard to control. I think a little higher spin would help me get the ball up in the air and control the ball a little better. I know that lower spinning drivers for slower swingers tend to be less forgiving. How about the Epic Flash from Callaway? Big seller last year, huge. It's now selling for $479. It originally retailed for $529.99. It's a mid to low spin driver. It has a really good feel on impact. Hit inside the jailbreak technology in the middle between those two bars, I hit some bombs, straight and bombs. But I have to tell you, with all prior models of jailbreak drivers, if I hit it a little toward the toe or the heel, I'm punished way too much on distance and forgiveness. I think Callaway is trying to address this in the new Maverick drivers. We'll see if it's true or just marketing material. I'll let you know about that one. Here's a driver that really doesn't get enough attention, and I think this year is going to be a breakout year, and that's for Mizuno. Mizuno ST190. It's now selling for $249.99. It originally sold for $150 more. I can't tell you enough. This is a great deal for the money. I may even consider getting myself one and putting my shaft in it. It's a mid to high spinning driver, which really helps us lower swingers launch the ball, and it provides more forgiveness. It has a really good feel on impact. It has a long carry. It's just as long as anything else out there. The only thing I would say is it probably gets a B+ for forgiveness, and I know the ST200 is more forgiving because I've swung it. But with that said, I don't think you'll notice much of a difference, and if you're looking for this type of driver at $249.99, it can't be beat. I did try the ST190G, which is their lower spinning but had more controls on the bottom driver head. Again, I don't like low spinning drivers, and I really didn't get along with it. Compared to the ST190, they feel like two different drivers. So, let's move on to Titleist. This was a big change for Titleist this year in drivers. Their ST2 is now selling for $399.99, and I know this has been a very popular driver, so you're saving $100 off of its original retail price. I really believe that Titleist makes the highest quality golf equipment, but I really think for years it's always been geared toward better players. But I have to say, I loved my 915 driver. That was a great driver. I may still even be hitting it if it wasn't stolen. The TS2 has a large head, larger than the TS3. It's mid-spinning and mid-launch. It's an improvement for Titleist in forgiveness and in distance. It's just not quite yet up to the competition of some of the major OEMs. The TS3, on the other hand, is now $399 as well. That's again $100 off. And for some reason, I hit the TS3 better. It's a little bit smaller club head. It's more consistent on distance, and it's more consistent on forgiveness. It's a good all-around club. It has a solid feel at impact. It's just almost, again, not quite there with some of the major OEMs as well. But they're getting closer, and I know they have new drivers coming out this year. So I'm going to be on the lookout for those and try to compare them to the prior year, these TS models. So you may be wondering, what did I wind up with this year? Okay, so you can probably guess I have a Ping G410 Plus. When I'm not swinging great or not playing a lot, that's the club I take on the course. But my go-to club for most every day and every round is the Cobra F9. I found this club to be the most forgiving, the longest on mishits, and the best all-around driver for me. I'm not alone in that. Most of my friends really like this driver. A lot of them opted for the G410 because it's just a little bit more forgiving than the Cobra. But for me, this is the perfect match, especially with my shaft in it. So in ending, I hope you found this information valuable. There's some great deals on the market and some really good drivers. And I know from experience, because I've hit them, there's little to no difference from the current 2020 drivers. Thank you for watching, and as always, please hit them straight.